Oh hey y'all, how's everybody doing today? We got regular guy barbecue here. Now we are not cooking meat today, as you can see. We have got some portobello mushrooms. And the bad news, good news about that is there's a lot of people out there that don't like mushrooms so good. My family included.
I don't like mushrooms so good.
My girls don't like mushrooms at all. So the good news part of that, more for me.
I tried liking them.
She did. So what we've done is we've cut the stems off, and part of the reason I cut them off is some people say, oh, they're so woody and grainy that you just can't eat them. Well, let me tell you, I have eaten the stems before, and they are a little more fibrous than the rest of the mushroom. I don't know. I've never had a big problem with it, but we took them off anyway. The other thing is some people say, well, you got to take the gills out too because they've got like a muddy flavor to them. There again, personally, I've eaten them. Not a problem. But for today's purposes, we're going to take them off. Maybe. So usually you can just scrape these on out of there like that. Nothing too hard. And again, like I say, some people say that these are the nasty part that you don't want to eat. They're muddy flavored. You know, I personally haven't noticed that, but to each their own. So we're going to do it by removing them today, just for the purpose of the video.
Gives you more, technique.
Technique. It's not about this, that's about this. Anyway, so we're going to scrape the gills out. And again, if you like the gills, if you've eaten them with the gills and you want to leave them in, that's perfectly fine.
One less step for you to do.
Right, exactly. And this also will help dry the mushrooms out too. And when you do go to cook them, the drier they are, generally speaking, the easier and better they cook. So there's that too. All right, so we're not going to bore you with all of this. We'll get these done up, and then we'll show you the next step. Okay, so we got them all scraped out. They're ready to go. A couple of things you can do as far as portobellos go. If you want to buy portobellos to cook, I highly recommend buying them by the pound and buy individual pack. Don't get them in the package. We had to buy ours in the package because they were the only ones they had. Also, I prefer bigger, like ones the size of my hand, or if you can get them that close. These are smaller, again, all they had. Also, when you buy them, make sure you look at the gills real close. And we scraped them all out already, but look at the gills real close. Make sure they're nice and dry, because if they're starting to get like soggy and wilty in there, it means they've been on the shelf for a while and probably aren't going to be as fresh.
Oh, that smells good.
Ours were nice and fresh when we got them. And unfortunately, with our weather pattern we've had a week of rain. We bought those like Thursday. Today is Sunday, so they sat in the fridge a couple extra days. But I really didn't want them to. But choices were kind of limited. So a lot of people call the portobello the steak of mushrooms. And I don't disagree with that. So what we're doing today is we're preparing just a little bit of sauce, or sauce for those of you that don't speak barbecue, guy. Sauce. So, and we're literally going to treat these kind of like a steak. So what we've added, as you can see, is some minced garlic, some Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire.
Just a pinch of salt. I don't do as much salt. You guys know that already.
If you guys want to know how to pronounce Worcestershire sauce, you got to go watch the Shrek movie. They say it in the movie properly.
Yeah. It's Worcestershire.
Something like that.
Worcestershire.
I saw that the other day. There's a clip of it.
Right. Well, I actually watched a video of a British guy cooking, and he said, here's the two ways you can pronounce it, and that's the correct ways to do it. And I'm like, Leon Barons. Yeah. That's the way it was for me. So we've got our little bit of sauce mixed up. I'm going to grab a spoon for that. And we're going to cook these, again, a lot like you would a steak. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these over direct heat. Now we've already got our Weber 22-inch Kettle Performance grill going, old King Kong, you remember him. And we're smoking some other foods on there right now, so you just pay no attention to those and pretend they're not there, because we're doing another cook for another video.
No, this is not the bacon you were looking for.
It's not the bacon you're looking for, that's correct. So pay no attention to the bacon. Let me grab a spoon quick.
Pay no attention to the bacon on the other side of the grill.
That's right.
If anyone knows that one.
Oh yeah. I just realized that I'm probably not going to have enough to do 10 of these.
Yeah.
So we're going to make a little bit more, just to make sure. A little bit more garlic.
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
I have fun saying it weirdly because you still know what I mean either way.
Worcester. That's the way
Worcester.
That's the way I remember it.
The American way.
Yeah, exactly. I'm too lazy to learn proper English way.
That's why we speak American.
American. Yeah, but you guys know, watching other videos of ours and things, when you're cooking steaks and you kind of want to let the meat talk, or in this case the mushrooms talk, because mushrooms talk to me in my head.
Hello.
Hello.
Not saying nothing.
Not right now. Yeah.
Must be camera shy.
We go real simple with the ingredients. You know that steak Worcestershire sauce goes good with beef. It also goes good on these mushrooms, believe it or not. And then your salt, pepper, garlic, pretty simple.
I'm gonna have to find that clip.
Well, maybe you can add it to the video. All right, so here's our grill. And again, as you can see, we've got...
You don't see
pay no
that.
attention to the bacon. We've got all the charcoal over on one side of the grill because we're smoking this bacon, trying to make it nice and smoky flavored.
It's a surprise.
Got a bit of num wood in there. And this is turkey bacon. That's why you probably think it looks funny. But turkey bacon's perfectly fine. This is a low sodium, so it's even better for us. So it's a win-win. As for right now, we'll just move it out of the way.
That stuff don't need to look pretty for when we're done with it.
No, we're going to cut it up later anyway. All right.
Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers. So here's what we're going to do is we're going to take all 10 of these mushroom caps here, our portobellas, the steak of mushrooms. And we're going to get these kind of close to the heat. Maybe.
Ooh, I wonder if they're going to get a bacony flavor with them too.
They might. But this is like, you can kind of consider this medium to high heat if you want, even if you don't want.
It's heat either way.
It's heat.
You touch it, it makes your hand go ouch.
Makes you go ouch. So there we got our mushroom caps. And then what I'm going to do, again, this is a relatively simple recipe, is I'm just going to take a little bit of our sass and spoon it right into these mushroom caps. Now, as these cook, and they should take somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 or 15 minutes, somewhere in that general thing, depending on how high of a heat you're cooking at, how many times you peek, pulling the lid off, all that stuff.
Make sure they're not talking to you.
Yeah, make sure your food isn't talking to you. 10 or 15 minutes or so is all it's going to take. I may flip them for the last minute or two that they cook, just to, you know, maybe add that char flavor to the back side of them.
It's your Amber Alert.
Yeah, that's my Amber Alert. Who's Amber?
Inside joke.
Who's Amber? So, yeah, like I said, this isn't real hard. I'm sure you guys have all run a spoon before, right?
I don't know. I miss my mouth with them all the time. That's why I use forks.
Yeah, you know, forks are easier. So we just spoon some of that in there, and there we go.
You see the mushrooms already soaking up the
Yeah,
juice?
they soak up that juice pretty quick because they're a pretty porous thing. And they're going to cook pretty fast because we're fairly close to the heat. So that's not too hard. We'll put the lid on for probably 5-6 minutes. Rotate them. Oh, Jesus.
Trip over
my chair. Yeah, we'll you know, there's the num wood in there, giving them a little extra that smoky flavor. 5-6 minutes, we'll move them around a little bit, make sure they cook evenly because we got some that are farther away from the heat than the others. We'll probably show you the last minute of cooking them. Like I said, if they look like they need to be flipped, I'll flip them, cook them for a minute or so, and then pull them off. We'll be back.
Yep.
I don't know if you can see this very well or not, but I wanted to just stop. We're just kind of rotating things around a little bit. You can actually see the juice boiling inside the mushroom. That gives you a good idea of how, you know, the temperature is on there. Now, I didn't talk about the temperature a whole lot in this video so far because it really isn't that important. If I was choosing to do this in the oven, for example, I would probably shoot for the neighborhood of 275 to 300 degrees, maybe 325, something like that. If you're going to cook them in a pan and do a saute or a sear on them, you know, you're probably looking at a medium heat, and who knows what that temperature
Low and
is.
slow.
Well, you don't have to. Like, if you're going to cook these like a true, cooking them like a steak, you're going to cook them relatively fast. They don't need to cook fast like a steak to keep them tender because these are going to be tender no matter what. I can promise you that.
This is a good idea for all your vegetarian friends that want steak.
That's right. I don't eat meat because I'm a veterinarian. Yeah, no, but this is a good way to give you an alternative to having red meat, but it still tastes phenomenal. You know, I think I'm going to pull one of these little ones off because I think it's going to be done. But anyway, you can kind of see that, and we'll show you what the other ones look like when they come off too. But just to give you a sampling of what they look like, we'll give these probably another 3 or 4 minutes, and then we'll go back and probably turn them over and sear them on the other side.
A little fly with rubbing his fingers together.
Yeah, get out of there, you jerk. That ain't for you. So, I mean, this one's pretty thin, as you can see.
I'd try it, but
And it cooks relatively fast.
I hate mushrooms.
I know you do.
I've not tried.
Well, let me just see what it tastes like. Wow. That's got a lot of flavor in it. A lot of garlic, too. So, you know, you could just sweep some of that off. And
Why would you do that?
Well, some could. You could use garlic powder, too. And here, I'll tell you what. Do this.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, we're going to make her do it. A little tiny piece. It doesn't have the texture of a mushroom.
Yeah. Yeah. Mount or no.
No. Well.
The flavor's great.
Yeah, just not the texture. Right?
No, Oh, no, there's the mushroom flavor. Ugh.
She doesn't care for mushrooms.
I tried.
You give her effort for trying. But.
The garlic's great.
Yeah, the garlic and the Worcestershire sauce gives it a really unique flavor. It's almost a little bit too salty for my liking.
Yeah, I'd agree.
But to each their own. In any event, that's kind of what they're going to look like when you take them off. So let's go. I tell you what, we're going to give this probably another 3-4 minutes still, just because I want to make sure that they're thoroughly cooked. Now that one was thoroughly cooked, but that one was this big. We got some in there that are kind of thick. So.
We'll be back.
All right, so you can see these things have cooked really nicely, and what we're going to do is we're just going to flip them over and give them just a minute on this side. This will let a little bit of that extra moisture run out of there from the sauce that we put on. Nothing too serious, you know, and it's not required to do this. I'm doing it just because I like that seared flavor on the whole thing.
I mean, yeah, you're the only one who made them.
Right, so they're all for me.
None for you.
None for you.
All for me, none for you.
None for you. You can see our fire's gotten really hot, so we're not
smoking my camera up.
Smoke gets in your ears. So we're just giving them a minute there, and then we'll just pull them off. And again, I usually prefer to have the larger portobellas, but you know, I didn't have them, so we just went with what we got. And I pulled a piece of bacon and put it over the fire for her so she can have her little snack.
Because I suffered eating a mushroom.
Yep, she did.
I tried.
There we are. We got 3 left. There we go. And again, these are pretty flat. They're pretty thin. So these aren't exactly the best examples of doing portobello mushrooms, but they are an example of it. And it can give you an idea of how, well, oh, we just lost a bacon. That's a casualty.
No!
Save the bacon. Nope. That one bacon go bye-bye. All right, so we're going to throw another piece of num-num wood on and continue with this cook over here while we finish up doing the portobellas. There we are. Lid back on, let the bacon smoke for a little while longer. On over to this department. Where'd my fork go?
In my pocket.
Can I have it? Thank you. So there you go. You can see, and you know, even Danielle said, you know, she doesn't like portobellas. She doesn't like any mushrooms at all. But she said even you could taste how quickly all those flavors went down into a mushroom because the mushroom is real porous. You can see how much that penetrated in there.
Honestly, if it wasn't for the texture of mushrooms, I would eat it.
Yeah.
It tasted great.
Wow. You know, if you don't like meat, but you want to eat something that's like eating steak, portobellas are the way to go. Fantastic stuff. So there's just a little quick recipe and a little quick cook on how to do portobello mushrooms on your grill. And again, you can do them in pans in the house. You can do them in the oven in the house. You know us, we like to do things on the grill. So we'll wrap things up and get on to our next project until we put that video out. Thanks for joining us. Thumb us, share, subscribe if you haven't done so yet. We're wondering what in the world you're waiting for.
Doesn't cost you nothing.
It don't cost you nothing but 2 seconds of your
Except
time.
like the energy to go, meh.
Hey, wait. If I eat this.
Strong.
Now I can subscribe to 10 channels. Share us out there, gang. We need you to share the videos because we want to get our subscribers up and up and up and up. A couple things for you guys to remember. We've got some other channels we've been working with lately. Having a great time with them. We got some big stuff coming up. KT Treasures, check them out. Like, share, subscribe over there because they're fantastic people. Storage Brats. Again, some wonderful, wonderful people. Having a great time with them. We've got Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock Eastern. We've got a show that all three of us get together on, either on my channel or one of their channels, called Two Fat Guys and a Tim and Their Queens. So check that out. We just kind of sit around and shoot the breeze and have little talks. And if you've got questions you want answered about anything in life, we'll be there to help you the best we can. All right, I'm out of here. On to the next project. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you soon.